Hey friends, how's it going? Covey here with another Infinity Train video. Before I start, I just want to say a huge thank you to everyone who subscribed or left a nice comment on one of my other videos. I've barely started making videos and I can't really wrap my head around 94 of you subscribing already. Y'all are so sweet and I really appreciate each and every one of you. I do work a full-time job, so I can't make videos as frequently as I'd like, mainly because I'd rather make videos that I'm proud of than a bunch of low-quality ones, but your support means the world to me, and it makes me want to create more stuff. And of course, my usual spoiler warning for the show. If you haven't seen all 3 books of Infinity Train yet, what are you doing? You should go support the show on HBO Max and demand they renew it. The show is still in danger of being canceled. Now, in my last video, I went over everything we currently know about the Infinity Train within the world of the show. I made that video to establish a foundation of what we know in order to build theories off of in the future. And of course, I was bound to miss a few things, which some of you added to in the comments, so thank you. But in doing my research for that video, I realized that there's still so much that we just don't know. I had so many questions that I couldn't get out of my head, questions that haunted me during the day and kept me up at night. So I figured, hey, why not put all of my questions into its own separate video? This video is going to be a little less structured since it's mostly just my thoughts and not so much on the show. Less structured, unhinged, I'll let you be the judge. But I'm going to start where my last video left off. The Wasteland is a setting we're introduced to in the very first episode of Infinity Train, and yet it's easily one of the most mysterious elements of the show. One of the comments on my last video let me know that the Wasteland is in fact on an alien planet, but that still doesn't tell us too much in and of itself. If it is on an alien planet, is it somewhere in our universe, but just on a different solar system? Is it in an alternate dimension? How is it that time can move parallel to Earth while passengers are on the train if the Wasteland is on an alien planet? And how does the train go from the Wasteland to Earth? When Samantha the Cat shows Tulip Amelia's tape in Book 1, Episode 8, The Ball Pit Car, she points out that the train has these cannons in front of the engine. But what exactly are they doing there? And how did Amelia repurpose it to be a weapon? I think we can guess that the orb Amelia originally had in the cannon when she used it against Atticus was one specifically programmed as a Ghomes orb, which is why Tulip was then later able to use a Corgi orb to change Atticus back. But what exactly is the original function of the cannon and how is it supposed to work? Speaking of Gomes, if we are to assume that Amelia had a Ghomes orb, then that means the Gomes are a product of the train. And if so, what exactly is their purpose? Why do these horrific things exist? Just to give me nightmares? Actually, yeah, probably. But seriously, if the train is supposedly trying to help people, then why create monsters that are actively trying to kill passengers? I understand the train creating challenges, or even denizens who don't have the passenger's best interest in mind, to act as an adversary that the passenger needs to get past. But these scary beasts that suck out your life force and then turn you to dust? What could be the purpose of that? Surely there have to be better ways to deter people from trying to leave the train. And why do they explode after killing one person? This whole moment is so confusing. Intense, satisfying, and yet still confusing. It seems clear that the Gomes was going after Simon simply because he was the closest one to it, and he was alone. But the first time I watched this scene, I was sure it was gonna go after Grace in the Apex next. But then it just exploded. Like, what? Why? What is happening? Also, going back a bit to Amelia, I have a lot of questions when it comes to her and the train. I know she's smart, but how exactly did she figure out how to hack the train? I really hope at some point we get to see the story of Amelia's first experiences on the train and how she figured out how it works and how she went about repurposing parts of it. I also want to know, how did she remove One-One from his position as conductor? Once he's reinstated, he can clearly pop in and out of the engine car, so how did she disable him to the point where he completely forgot his purpose? And why exactly does she call him One? And what was One-One like before Amelia removed him? If he was originally a single consciousness, then why does he have a happy side and a sad side? Is it because the creators of the train wanted the conductor to be equally optimistic and pessimistic? And if so, how exactly does that lend itself to how the train creates cars and denizens to help passengers grow? And you know how when One-One is back as conductor, he creates a bunch of these videos meant for passengers? Well, what was there before Amelia removed him? And if there were videos of the conductor, what happened to all of those recordings? I really hope we get to see one in a future episode. The only train denizen I have questions about is Samantha the Cat. Why does she seem to know so much more about the train than all the other denizens, including having all these outposts and multiple cars? Where did her shuttlecraft and Simon's passenger tracker come from? And why does this train tech look so much different than any of the other tech that we see on the train? Although she gets a lot of screen time in all 3 books of the show, Samantha the Cat remains elusive and mysterious, which, is typical for a cat. And then there's the passengers. We know the train chooses those who are at a crossroads in their life, and someone in the comments pointed out that the train only picks up people who are capable of changing, which makes a lot of sense to me based on the passengers we've seen so far. But how else exactly does the train choose passengers? Because if it picked up every single person who had a problem like this, then, well, everyone would be picked up by the train at some point, wouldn't they? The severity of the problems is all over the place, with someone struggling with their parents' divorce, to someone accidentally killing a pet, to someone losing a spelling bee. What is it about these people that made the train show itself? Is it just totally random? Or does it at least have something to do with location, since Mrs. Graham, Jesse's school's lunch lady, is on the train? Or, I just thought of this. You know how in the last video I pointed out that 2 people could get on the train at the same time if it showed itself? Well, what if the train came to pick up Jessie, but because she was nearby, Mrs. Graham just wandered onto it? Wow, I did not think I was gonna have a question about Mrs. Graham in this video. Here's kind of a weird thing to think about. Why is the Infinity Train a train? If it was created centuries ago, as stated by Samantha the Cat, then why does it look like a train if humans didn't create the first passenger trains until the 19th century? Did this train come first and then human trains? Did the Infinity Train even pick up passengers that early? And if so, what did early passengers think was happening when they got onto it? Or was the Infinity Train something else before it was a train? And lastly, what I think is the biggest mystery of the show is who created the Infinity Train and why? Sure, we know it's probably aliens of some kind and they're supposedly trying to help passengers grow, but there's just so much of that answer that's unsatisfying. So I have to ask, what was the inciting incident that gave the creators the idea to make the train? Why do they have such a skewed view of helping people? And why do they even want to help passengers? What are the aliens getting out of all of this exactly? Those are my absolute biggest questions of the show that I really hope we get to see an answer to in the future. And before I end this video, I do have a few more questions, but not about the train's lore. And these questions are also directed to just a few people. Mr. Casey Bloys, Chief Content Officer for HBO Max, and all you big shots over there at HBO Max and Warner Media. Here are my questions. 1. Why? 2. What is wrong with you? And 3. What the actual Okay, sorry, I lost my cool there for a second. But seriously, what is going on? The fans of Infinity Train, we've been losing our minds since you've left us in limbo when it comes to the show. If it's canceled, just tell me now. That way I know to start making content about other shows. But seriously, if book 4 needed to get delayed or something, can you just tell us? If you're still not sure if you want to renew it, I don't know what to tell you. It's one of your most popular originals, it's gotten critical acclaim, and it's overall just one of the most watched shows right now, and it would only do better if HBO Max was available in other countries. People seriously love Infinity Train. And honestly, people love animation in general. I was starting to lose hope a little bit, but I was really happy to see that there's now this section on HBO Max that highlights animated shows. I just really hope you give Infinity Train a fair chance, since it has so much potential if you just let the creators tell their story. They've captivated so many of us so deeply with just 3 books. Could you only imagine what they could do with 8? But anyway, these are all of my questions that I currently have about the Infinity Train, and, well, I guess the state of the show. Let me know in the comments what questions you have, or what you're hoping to have answered in book 4, which we are all eagerly awaiting the announcement for. And if you liked this video, hit the thumbs up and subscribe for more in the future. You can also follow me on Twitter or on Twitch, where I've been streaming the Stardew Valley 1.5 update. Stop by and say hi. Thanks so much for watching. I love you and appreciate you. Stay safe and take care. But seriously, HBO Max people, if you cancel this show, then you personally owe me the answer to every question in this video. I'm not kidding. Renew Infinity Train already.